Well, I heard that you guys were so good on Friday night, you didn't even feel the earthquake. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's how good you guys are. I felt it today, too. You guys are good. So today I want to begin with a question. How many of you have ever been to a gospel church? Anyone here? Good. And there's something that they do that I absolutely love. They participate in and they experience the Sunday service. If they agree with something, that's right. If they agree with something, they shout, "Amen." Gosh, I love you guys. Now, amen is actually, it's a Hebrew word, and that is commonly defined as so be it. And usually we say amen at the end of a prayer, and then that's all there is to it. However, amen is one of the most powerful words in our language. In the New Testament, amen is used as an adverb to mean truly, to mean for certain. It is done. That's how it was used in the Bible. Therefore, anyone saying amen confirms that what has just been said before in speech or in prayer or in song resonates with them as being true. True to their soul, true to their being. And so when you say amen, you are agreeing with something that someone said and making those words as if they are your own, bringing them into your own essence, where you take those words into your own being. And that is what I have observed in the gospel churches that I've been to. They make the lesson their own. So today's lesson, we're going to have a lesson that's more of an experience, if you will, rather than just sitting and listening to me. It will be participatory because there will be times when I'm going to ask for an amen. Amen. You guys are so good. So it will be a time when you take in the truth that is your own and you bring it into your own experience, into your own essence. And if you do this, I promise you will leave here on such a high. You're going to feel so good. All right, are you ready? Can I get an amen? Amen. Now, the other thing that they do, you guys did that really well, by the way. The other thing that they do, they bring it into their physical being, right? They do something like this. Now, because being a white person, I tend to be sometimes a little stiff, and I go like this. Remember, we're on YouTube. They might think we're some kind of cult if we do this, right? So loosen up, all right. Can I get an amen? Amen. Yes. And if something just feels good, like some of you just did, and you just feel like, oh man, that resonates, just shout it out, amen. You're bringing it in. This is a participatory service here today. Now, there is a word that supposedly was coined by the Grateful Dead lyricist John Perry Barlow. Any Deadheads in here? Oh, we have some, yay! I'm one too. So the Deadheads in here may be very familiar with a word that Barlow used, and the word is pronoia. You know what pronoia is, right? Some of you know what that is. And Barlow's huge success was great because he had this great belief in pronoia. He declared that without the belief of pronoia, he would not have been the success that he became. It's one of my favorite words, which is the opposite of paranoia. Now today, I want you to get into the state of pronoia. So what is pronoia? Basically, it is defined as the universe is always conspiring on your behalf. And if you lived from that place where every fiber of your being, knowing that the universe is always conspiring on your behalf, if you lived from that state of being, you would be a very successful person on every level of your life, every phase of your life. Now, A person suffering from paranoia believes that people, situations, circumstances, organizations conspire against them. People that suffer from paranoia always feel that the other shoe is going to drop somewhere along the line, that life just can't be that good. Something is going to happen. However, a person enjoying pronoia feels that the world around them is always conspiring in their favor. It is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. They know, people that live in pronoia, they know what happens in their lives, and they know that no matter what happens, that everything works together for good, that there is always a divine orchestration that's happening at all times. So, amen, amen. So, it is my wish for you today that by the time you leave here today, that you will become a full proniac. Amen. Where you really feel and you really get that everything around you is working together in your favor always, no matter what it looks like. You see, in unity, we say, go beyond appearance. Go beyond appearance. Because being a full-fledged proniac, you must trust in the God force, the universe, whatever you want to call it, that you trust your relationship, your partnership with the universe. And here's the deal. In order for you to have unshakable trust with God, I want you to really see that thousands and thousands of things go right every single day, beginning when you wake up. It's true, thousands and thousands of things. Amen is right, thank you. Thousands of things go right for you every day, beginning when you open your eyes first thing in the morning. Through some magic, you're still breathing and your heart is beating, even though you've been unconscious for many hours during your sleep at night. So just take a moment, tune in, you might want to put your hand on your heart for a moment. Your heart circulates blood throughout your entire body. And after your blood has delivered its blessings, it finds a way back to your heart to be refreshed. This wondrous mystery repeats itself over and over again without you having to do a darn thing. Pretty amazing. Can I get an amen? Really, I am in love with you guys right now. Now, most of us have two eyes, right? You can see there are lights there's many colors all around. The many colors even presented here in our flowers that Sherry donated to us today. There's many colors, beauty, beauty, beauty all over the place. Your hands work pretty well to touch, to feel, to grab things like that first cup of coffee in the morning. Amen. Or that's the steering wheel as you're driving the car here and there. Or just take a moment, feel your seat. You know, you have the gift of touch. Can I get an amen? And most of us have amazing noses. Amazing noses. You can smell the intoxicating aromas like baked cookies, baked bread, bacon first thing in the morning, or even your coffee. Once again, you can tell I like my caffeine. Take a breath in. Just fill up those lungs. The breath of life. How about your ears? Your ears, you can hear enchanting, soothing sounds, like the wind just blowing through the trees, the laughter coming right here, the sounds of amen coming right here. And now, be aware of your tongue for a moment. You can taste 1,000 different tastes with 10,000 taste buds. Whoever took the time to count those 10,000 taste buds, I don't know, but thank God for them. You have 10,000 taste buds that you possess in your tongue. How is any of this possible without you having to be a control enthusiast? All right, my dear proniacs, can I get an amen? Here's the other thing. You can think thoughts, you can have dreams anytime you want, big, comprehensive, colorful thoughts, or maybe even tiny, dark, evil thoughts. You get to choose whatever you want. You see, thousands of things go right for you every single day without you. Amen. You don't even have to be aware of them. And on this day, like most other days, you have awoken to an inside temperature that is controlled. And as we chatted about last week a little bit, you have a home, you have an apartment or a room. You slept in a bed and you were covered with wonderful blankets. The electricity is turned on as usual. Amazingly, you have water that comes out of faucets that flow with the kind of volume you want, either cold or hot, whatever it is that you desire. Can I get an amen? In your closet, there are many clothes that you like to wear. Your kitchen has appetizing food and secure packaging that's just waiting for you. Many people that you've never met, the people who worked hard to grow your food, to process your food, to get it to the store where you bought it, and of course, those who put it all together. Indeed, there are thousands of things going right for you every single day. Can I get an amen? Do you want to go someplace? You can choose from a number of ways to get there. You have any kind of mode of transportation that you can pick. You can pick a car, a plane, a bus, a train, a ship, or a bike, or your own 2 feet. And how did you get here today? We sometimes become blasé of how everything comes together for your good. Everything works together for good all the time, just for you, every single day. How about our language? Our language is a marvel. Millions of souls have worked together for untold centuries to cultivate a system of communication that you understand very well. Thank God we're able to, amen. We're able to communicate here. We're able to listen to the television. We're able to read. The language is what connects us. It connects us with the rest of the world. It allows you to indulge in one of the greatest pleasures, and that is to hear and to tell stories. Can I get an amen? Okay, one more thing, and this is really important. Have you ever been loved? And I bet you have been loved so much and so deeply that maybe you've become a little nonchalant about it. And if you are smart, you will take the time to regularly pause and bask in the knowledge that there are many, many people and pets who care for you, who love you, and want only goodness and success for you. Take that in, my dear proniacs, and say amen. Thousands of things go right for you every single day. All things work together for good. And so now it's 10-something in the morning, and you've been awake for some hours now, and 100 things have already gone right for you. If 4 of those 100 things had not gone right, such as maybe the internet not working, or you spilled coffee on your very favorite pants that you wanted to wear here today, or maybe there was a little bit of traffic before you even got here and you were a little late, or you didn't win the multi-million-dollar lottery, you might feel that the universe was not going your way, that your luck was bad, and that nothing was going right. You would clearly be misled to imagine that life is primarily an ordeal. If we start to just focus in on those several things that maybe didn't go quite right. And yet the vast majority of things still would be working with magnificent proficiency and reliability in your favor. So yes, things happen from time to time, but even more good things are happening for your pleasure all the time. Can I get an amen? And so we must keep in mind that when things may not look good, most of the time it is a setup, if you will. It's a setup. It's shifting you into another direction to do something different, to maybe birth something that's greater and better than what you could have ever have imagined. Amen to that, my friend. And so I always like to say, it may not look good, but there's good in it, right? There's good in whatever it is that may not look that good. So essentially, this requires deep trust that the universe, the God force, knows exactly what it is doing. And you can trust that the universe knows exactly what it is doing, because if you just let go, you'll see that everything is divinely orchestrated, again, in your favor. Can I get an amen? And are you feeling more and more like a proniac now? Yeah. So as the author Paulo Coelho says, when you want something, the entire universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. And it is very, very true. So when you trust the universe, there will be signals, there will be signs that the universe will want you to follow. Nevertheless, there are things that get in the way of being a wonderful proniac, and that is being paranoid. In order for you to be in a good working relationship with God, each one of us here must decipher where we get paranoid. And in order to change it, in order to maybe not participate in it. So do you get paranoid sometimes about money, maybe, or about politics, or the state of your relationships, or your job, or your coworkers? And the easiest way to solve this place of paranoia is to pause and not participate in the paranoid states of mind of the problem, right? We tend to engage in the story of the problem and slip into paranoia. Anyone ever been paranoid before? I got both hands up. Unfortunately, many of us are not realizing our own paranoia because we have been taught to see paranoia as a disease or a mental disorder. But paranoia has many levels, if you will, in levels of consciousness and ways of being. The following is a short article of a colleague of mine who they wrote this article, and I couldn't have said it any better when it comes to paranoia. And I wanted to just read it to you because this is genius the way she said it. She said, "Looking back at time, it is difficult for me to accept the paranoid person I used to be. On a conscious level," and she was a minister, remember, so on a conscious level, I was convinced that I was this positive individual who had worked successfully at leaving her negativity in the past. The truth was that deep inside, on a subconscious level, I was full of insecurities and fears that made me see the world in a hostile environment where I had to be careful of those attacking me, those who were out to get me. I was living as a victim to my own delusion. Millions of people are living in the same paranoid reality that I am describing. The degrees of severity, circumstances, and characters involved will be different for each one of us. As I began in identifying my paranoia, I realized that the ways that I was feeding it continuously. So really, it's about feeding it. So she was feeding it continuously through the information I allowed into my brain. This information came from family, friends, and the books, magazine, movies, TV programs, and news that I used to watch and read. So how did I know I was paranoid? The following are some examples of how I used to behave. 1, I could not always trust others. I suspected without justification that others were trying to swindle me somehow. I was jealous and suspicious about those I loved. I doubted the loyalty of my friends. I avoided talking about myself, fearing the information would be used against me. I interpreted casual remarks or events as insults against me. I carried grudges. I was unable to forgive. I was unable to trust that the universe was always working in my favor. And I could go on to describe all the political conspiracy theories I believed in at the time, but you probably get the picture very well by now. My healing started as soon as I began practicing a whole new way of perceiving the world. Instead of a negative and toxic view of the world, and it's all about perception, my friends. And so she says, instead of a negative and toxic view of the world, I chose instead to align with pronoia, a mode of training your senses and intellect so that you're able to perceive the fact that life always gives you exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. I began to trust the universe, and every day since then, incredible miracles and success have never ceased. It has been said the universe always gives you more of what you focus on. This may sound corny, but I tell you the truth. I began noticing the most amazing results in my life. No longer do I participate in paranoia, but I fully know that thousands of things go right for me all the time. Align with pronoia. You'll be glad that you did. I love that. Can I get an amen? Just know that pronoia is your perception. And it's whatever it is that you feed. Are you going to feed the paranoid states and stories of the mind, or are you going to feed pronoia? Pronoia is going to give you great success in life, my friends, because it's going to you're going to trust in the universe in such a way that everything starts to orchestrate in your favor, far beyond your wildest dreams. So we're going to align with pronoia at this time. And I'm going to ask you, if you will, just close your eyes. And I want you to just absorb the evidence that all of creation is conspiring to shower you right now with blessings. Just the chair that you are seated on, they're made by people you don't know. But here it is for your comfort in this church. And then quite possibly after the service, you'll go into the fellowship area drinking coffee made by people you may not know, but they made it with tons of love, and meeting people of like minds who support you. And then from there, you'll probably get into your mode of transportation, and you'll arrive at your home, the dwelling place that keeps you dry and warm. And maybe you have something to eat made by many people you don't even know. And the sacrifice of plants and animals came to that meal to bless you. Thousands of things are going right for you today. So take a moment and just acknowledge the shower of blessings that are happening for you in your favor. And I want you to realize this. Life, God is crazily in love with you, openly and innocently in love with you. It is the Father's good pleasure to give you exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. That is its highest joy. So just take that in. And just say within yourself, I am a proniac. Together, I am a proniac. Can I get an amen? Amen. And for this, we do give thanks, and so it is. Amen.